Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for August 20th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and with me today is myself. Is nobody but myself. Solo update this morning. It's always fun. Always fun just hanging out with the chat. So make sure, if you are joining me today, to hang out in the chat. You can go to YouTube or Twitch, hang out there. Periscope as well should maybe theoretically work. But hang out with me, ask me questions. We'll chat. We'll have some fun. Maybe Brent will pop in at some point. Who knows? But we'll do some things and we'll have some fun. So let's talk about it. I'm here to tell you everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 20 live feeds. And we got some stuff to talk about. We do. Yesterday, we had the... I talked to you yesterday about Sam and Scottie and how they had come up with this pitch to go, okay, we need to try and convince Fessy to nominate Haleigh as the replacement nominee now that Brett has won the veto, and Brett is going to use the veto on himself, and now they're trying to get Haleigh up on the block. So I was wondering what's going to happen. Are they actually going to make this pitch tomorrow? And they did right away. Early in the morning, Sam goes to Fessy and is going to try to pitch to him, hey, Fessy, you need to put Haleigh up on the block as the replacement nominee. She says, look, Haleigh, she's always bossing you around. She was part of the Girls Alliance thing. You need to put Haleigh up on the block. If you did it, it would be a legendary move. You'd be saving my life. Because if you do this, I'll quit smoking. I'll quit smoking, and you'll save my life by doing this. Because I'll no longer be smoking, and I'll be healthier, and I won't die. So this is the most absurd pitch I have ever heard. This idea that, no, if you do this for me, then I will make a healthier choice in my life. And then you can feel good about that. Makes no sense. She also says, again, Haleigh, she talks the most. She contributes the least. I still don't really understand what this means. She says, Haleigh, she's going to throw you away like a used tissue. And, poor Fessy probably has used a lot of tissues in this house. 60 days. She really tries hard. She wants him to she wants him to pinky promise. She says, look, make pinky promise that you'll do this. I want you to promise me that you're going to put Haleigh up on the block. And Fessy is just like, maybe I'll think about it. Like, I don't know. It's just like, why are you pressuring me into doing this? I don't understand what's happening here. And Sam is just not letting it go. She's even going to talk to him later in the day as well about this. She really feels like she can genuinely do this. She thinks that she can get Haleigh up on the block. She's gonna hug Fessy at one point, and Fessy is just giving a look like he's very confused, very disturbed by this whole situation, and that's basically going to be the response of Fessy throughout the day. Because after he gets done with Sam, he goes and he talks to Scottie. And he's like, okay, Scottie, that was such a weird, bizarre experience. Let me talk to Scottie and just like talk to him about the decision this week and like what's been going on. And he starts talking to Scottie, and then Scottie starts saying, I understand, Fessy, but here's what you should do. You should put Haleigh on the block as the replacement nominee. And Fessy's just like, what is happening? What? Did I just wake up in Wonderland? What is happening? Why is everyone telling me I should put my beloved on the block? And he's just like, this is just very strange for poor Fessy. He can't handle all this confusion. Scottie says, look, you need to put up the person that has been playing us both, because she's Kaitlyn 2.0. Kaitlyn 2.0. Instead of you and Tyler, now it's you and me. She's been playing us both against each other. You got to put her on the block. You got to do it. We got to cut this off before we got to do what we did to Kaitlyn. And Fessy is just like, what is my life right now? He can't handle it. Scottie is then going to go off to Tyler, Angela, and Kaycee. He says, my revenge plan is in the works. We're getting Kaitlyn 2.0 out of the house. I've got a big veto speech planned. It's all going to work out. I'm going to go at Haleigh. It's going to be great. We're gonna really get her out of the house. And Tyler and Angela are just like, what? That's not gonna work. What are you talking about? And he's like, no, don't worry about it. It's worth a shot. We can do this. And so there you go. That's the plan is in the works. That's Scottie's plan. He's trying to get Haleigh up on the block with an assist from Sam, and he's calling Haleigh Kaitlyn 2.0. This is all gonna blow up later in the day, as you can imagine. In the meantime, we picked the have-nots. JC, Sam, and Tyler become the have-nots. Notably, Haleigh was supposed to be one, but obviously there's no chance in hell Fessy was going to choose Haleigh to be a have-not and not get to have her up in his HOH bed. So that was never going to happen. Tyler becoming a have-not, probably a good thing for his game, even though he did mourn the loss of his cuddle time with Angela. They even like swapped pillows so they could smell each other. They're really progressing there. Yeah. So Tyler and Angela, they will be separated, but they're still sneaking cuddles in. This is a good thing, you guys. You should be happy that you've been forced to separate. But they can't stay away from each other. They're really into it. So they do talk about this whole plan of Scottie's, this plan to get Haleigh up on the block, and they're like, this obviously is not going to work, right? But I guess if it did work, what would we do if Haleigh, like, if all of a sudden we've got an embarrassment of riches and it's the 6 of us versus the 3 of them, and one of them won HOH and then the other 2 ended up on the block? What do we do then? I guess we would still vote Scottie out, right? Yeah, he's the bigger threat. Haleigh would be pissed at Fessy for putting her on the block. I guess that's what we would do. It's just like I got both of the things that I wanted for Christmas, I guess, and now I have to choose one. I don't know what's going on in this situation. So Fessy has been hinting to Haleigh, like, Haleigh, Just you wait. The pitches I'm receiving today. And Haleigh's like, what? What's happening? What are you talking about? And so Fessy is eventually able to tell Haleigh, look, Scottie has been pitching for you to go up on the block. And he's been calling you Kaitlyn 2.0. And Sam was trying to get you on the, like, Scottie has really turned on you here. I apologize, but this is not looking good. Haleigh is very upset about this. Kaitlyn 2.0, are you serious? I'm playing him? What are you talking about? I'm not into this. So Fessy's like, He's a little smug here. Like, what? He's just doing whatever he can to stay. What did you expect? You're the one that trusted him. And Haleigh is going to go down and cry to Tyler, Angela, and Kaycee. They're comforting her. She feels very hurt, very betrayed by Scottie. She doesn't understand why he would say these things about her. Yeah, I mean, which, like, to be fair, you, again, were just party to putting him on the block. So, like, pretty reasonable for him to think that you were playing him. But nevertheless, she does feel a strong connection with him, and she feels very betrayed and very hurt that he would say these things about her. So she has this very genuine emotional moment here. She feels betrayed. Yes, he was right. She feels betrayed, huh? Why did she go cry to them? I think because Fessy was a little too smug about it. I think she knew that Fessy felt a little bit like vindicated. Like I knew Scottie was bad news, and so she needed to go find people that weren't gonna feel that way when she cried to them. Amber says maybe she just wanted to be alone, and they happened to be there as well. That's I think another bit of it there as well. Crying right into the arms of the enemies, Nikki says. Yeah. Yep. Rachel voice, what's wrong with Scottie? Just wait. Find out what's wrong with Scottie, because he's got some interesting explanations for all of this. All right, so we then had Haleigh, Tyler, Angela, and Fessy. They finally all come together and start talking about their Final Four deal. After Haleigh has calmed down, the tears are gone, they all go up into the HOH room and they start talking about, all right, we've been dancing around this for a few days. Let's do this. Let's make a Final Four deal. Let's work together. We'll take out all these middle people. We've won all the competitions. We should do this. This is what we should be doing. Fessy says, look, maybe I think I should nominate Kaycee. She handled the block so smoothly last time. This is, yes, Operation Double Date, as Stacked says in the chat. Fessy, he really wants to get the couples together. This took a very long time, and Tyler and Angela are just completely giving Haleigh and Fessy whatever they want. It's a lot of Fessy and Haleigh talking at Tyler and Angela, who are just like, yep, yeah, definitely, oh, totally, definitely, yep, oh, yeah, for sure, yep, definitely gonna do that. Just for hours, that was the conversation, which it's, again, just like these people, they just talk way too much. But so they're talking about this. Kaycee's probably going to go up on the block as the replacement to ensure that Scottie goes home. They all agree that Scottie is the one that they want to leave. He's very sketchy. They talk about all of the sketchy things that he's done. The Swaggy vote, the Brett vote, which was probably him, the Rockstar vote, which was probably him, claiming that Haleigh's playing him now. All of this stuff. Everything is Scottie's fault. Yes, definitely. That's what's going on. And they also talk about, like, oh, now he's like making up schemes with Sam from the night before and like going through all these crazy schemes and nonsense. Sam is being so weird. She pitched that Haleigh should go on the block, and she's saying she's gonna quit smoking if they do that. It's all this. They're very weirded out by Sam, and they're like, this plays into Tyler and Angela's hands exactly. That so Sam should be their next target. Brett is somebody that they need to be wary of because he's one of these middle players, and they're gonna move forward together. There you go. It's just it's as if Tyler needed more power in this game. He's got the trust of Fessy and Haleigh for now. So this Final Four deal is solidified, as about as solidified as you can get when it's completely fabricated. And that's what they do. So then Haleigh is finally going to go and talk to Scottie and get a sense of, like, okay, What's going on? What's going on, Scottie? What is all this about? And Scottie says, okay. You're going to hate me, but I've set a plan into motion. It's all to help you, Haleigh. I'm distancing myself from you so that other people will trust you more when I leave, so that they feel like, Scottie hated Haleigh and now Haleigh's not associated with me. I know that I'm going to leave. I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you stay in this game because you're the only thing I care about. In case your BS meter is as off as Haleigh's was throughout the day, this is complete BS from Scottie. This is Scottie. He tried to do something and it very clearly failed. Because obviously when he sees Haleigh crying after he pitches to Fessy and then Haleigh comes up to him and says, what's going on? He's like, well, that didn't work. Fessy went right to Haleigh. So now he's trying to explain this away. And don't get me wrong, he does still completely have feelings for Haleigh, but like you have to approach this from Scottie's mind. He is very emotionally involved with Haleigh and also very strategically aware of the game, right? So he tried to make this. He felt betrayed by Haleigh. He felt like I've been played by Haleigh. She is Kaitlyn 2.0. He tries to pitch this. He tries to get Haleigh up on the block to make himself stay. It doesn't work. Then he sees Haleigh upset. He sees Haleigh crying. He regrets his decision. He regrets his decision both strategically and emotionally, because strategically it didn't work and emotionally he feels very guilty for making Haleigh cry. He's in love with her. So he goes to Haleigh. He says, that wasn't what I meant to do. This was all a ploy to help you. And you know, I just want to do whatever I can to help you stay. And he's trying to do whatever he can to save face with her. And it's actually kind of working. She actually buys it a little bit. She's like, she doesn't understand because it's nonsense, but she, like, the genuine feeling of remorse and of like, I want to actually help you in this game. She feels that because it is genuine, because he does genuinely feel that way. But the actual words he's saying make zero sense. So it's like, well, I'm feeling the remorse. I'm feeling the care that you have for me, but you're speaking gibberish and I don't understand what you're saying, Scottie. And he's like, just don't worry about it. But the point is that I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you in this game. And I'm sorry that you don't understand. And she's like, well, I heard you were going to make some speech about me in the video. He's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'll just say nothing. Or you know what? I will go up there and I will apologize. I will apologize in my speech. I will stop doing all this. I never wanted to upset you. And she says, well, you don't have to apologize to me. And this becomes a very emotional moment for Scottie. Oh, you're so good to me. You're so wonderful to me, Haleigh, and I don't deserve it. And Haleigh's like, well, we're friends. We're friends, Scottie. And he's like, yeah, friends. Yep. Like, this is... Scottie's having a bad time. This part of this plan too is that he feels like the retroactive plan is, now that he's tried this and it's failed, he knows that Sam tried it as well, and so he's like, okay, well now, the plan is to get Sam out. We're gonna get Sam out of this house because I let Sam pitch something I knew would never work, and now Fessy can be mad at Sam, and we'll get Sam out of the house, which again is some impressive, like, retroactive, pedaling backwards, right? But it's something, right? It's something. Haleigh is gonna talk to Kaycee afterward. And Kaycee says, like, I'm probably gonna be the replacement, right? Like, I guess I get it. Haleigh assures Kaycee that she has her vote. Haleigh wishes that she had not let Rockstar run her HOH last week. She should have just put up Sam. Sam's trying to get her on the block now, and that's what she should have done last week. Sam would have gone home, not Rockstar. It's all Rockstar's fault. She also tells Kaycee about Scottie's whole weird thing. She still doesn't understand it. But then she goes to talk to Fessy. She tells Fessy about Scottie's weird thing about like, hey, he's doing this to distance himself from me, I guess, and help me, I think. And Fessy's like, what nonsense! You don't believe that, do you? Come on, you don't believe that, right? You don't believe that, right? And Haleigh's like, well, so what if I did? Like, what? He's like, oh, come on, you really believe him? Come on. And she's like, what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who cares if I believe it or not? He's going home. I'm going to vote him out. It's like, you got to vote him out. It's like, of course. Don't say that to me. I'm going to vote him out. Fessy feels very much, he does not want Haleigh to be believing Scottie when Scottie says this. It's ruining his smugness. It's really ruining it. So she says, it doesn't matter what she believes. So then Scottie is going to come up to Fessy and pitch to Fessy, because Fessy now needs to understand, like, you came to me earlier in the day. You were trying to pitch for Haleigh to go up on the block. You were calling her Kaitlyn 2.0. What is going on here, Scottie? And Scottie says, no, that was all a ploy. It was all a ploy to get Sam to do that, so that you could see who Sam really is. And you'd better not put Haleigh up on the block. I would murder you if you put Haleigh up on the block. I would murder you. You need Sam to go up on the block. Sam is the person that you should be worried about. Sam is coming for Haleigh. You know that Haleigh wants Sam out, so you should put Sam up on the block. She just tried to get you to put your best friend up on the block. Why is she trying to put Haleigh up on the block? She's the worst. I'm gonna go at her in my veto speech. I'm gonna go at her. Look, and Fessy's just like, why did you pitch for Haleigh to go up on the block? He was like, it was all ploy. Listen, I have never had feelings for anyone before, but I do for Haleigh, and I don't know how to handle them, and I would literally do anything for her. And that's good for you, because I will do whatever she says. I will do whatever she tells me to do. And Fessy's like, okay, I mean, that confirms a lot that I've been feeling. And if you genuinely would do anything that she says, like, that would be good for me, because she could just control you. And like, Fessy essentially finally starting to learn what the truth was before he put Scottie up on the block, right? Like, he's like, okay, so if Scottie is in love with Haleigh, and Scottie will do anything Haleigh says, and Haleigh's with me, then, like, we're kind of like three people working together? If that were true, Scottie, I'm trying to wrap my mind around this a bit. He said those words. I need to really wrap my mind around this. Then it would be us three, and then we could work together moving forward. So he's finally figuring it out a little bit. Okay. Scottie's getting through to him here with this kind of crazy rhetoric here. And so he's like, yes. And so if you get Haleigh, if you get Sam up on the block, and then we send Sam home, then I am going to be going after Brett next week to finish them off. Brett is the liar. He is the one. He did not vote to keep Rockstar. I voted to keep Rockstar. So Fess says, if you voted to keep Rockstar, then we take out Sam, and then we go after Brett next week, and the three of us are working together. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Can you go get Haleigh? Can I talk to Haleigh about this? And so this is working. So Scottie is getting through to Fessy here, and all he needs to do is get Haleigh up there to kind of seal the deal here, and we might have a ball game here. And this to me just like, it makes me sad because, man, like, this is kind of what Scottie could have been in this game. Scottie had so much potential. And we've seen it all season long. He's been up and down on the stock watch. He's like, he knows the game. He knows how to play this. I love what Scottie's doing here. I know it's all over the place, but I love what he's doing. Between like pitching hard for Haleigh to go up on the block, which is crazy, and then backtracking and getting out of it, recognizing it wasn't working, and going at a different angle that opened up because of the initial pitch. And now he's trying to get Sam up on the block, which is very possible to do. And hell, he's definitely not going to get the votes to stay over Sam, even if this works. Even if Fessy does put up Sam, he thinks, okay, then I'd have Haleigh's vote, I'd have Tyler's vote, and then I could try and get Tyler to get another vote for me to stay. Would never work. Tyler obviously is not actually going to vote to keep Scottie. Scottie would still go home even if Sam was sitting next to him. But still, it's something, right? And you know what? If Sam was on the block, there's a chance she would just self-evict or do something crazy to end up going home. Like, you know, there's always something there. But I like that Scottie is trying, and I like that he has it in him to do this stuff. And I feel like he has the potential to be a very good player. The problem is that he fell in love with stupid Haleigh, and it's totally ruined his game all season long. He even admits to Fessy in this conversation, you know, yeah, like, I admit it. Like, I got really lazy with all of my other relationships when I really fell for Haleigh. Like I fell hard for her, and I've just focused all of my attention on her, and I let everything else kind of go by the wayside. And it's just like, it's so disappointing when you see this, right? Like, I felt similarly to like Swaggy when he was like focused so intensely on Bayleigh, and it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, like, maybe you had potential in the game, but we'll never know because you spent all your time focused on Bayleigh. And now Scottie, the same thing all season long, or at least for half of the season, has been so focused on Haleigh, doing whatever Haleigh wants. He was in such a good spot, but he clearly has potential because we're seeing this. Like, this is a decent pitch, and he has Fessy convinced. All Fessy needs to do is talk to Haleigh and lock this in, and he's convinced Fessy, which is pretty good, right? Like, at least on the level of, you know, close to, you know, the JCs and the Tylers and the Bretts of the world here. But you know, he just, you let the emotions get to you, and that's what happened with Scottie over the course of the game. And yeah, people in the chat, like, hopefully this is not going to be Tyler's downfall as well. Certainly could be. He's been a little less active in the game, not nearly to the extent that Scottie was, of course, though. And he's still talking about like, oh, I'm totally going to cut Angela. So I'm not nearly as concerned with Tyler, but it's definitely a concern. Showmances are fine in the house as long as they don't distract you from actually playing the game. And that's what happens with a lot of showmances, and the showmances that are successful are the ones that play the game hard together, as opposed to just focusing on each other and you know, losing sight of what they're doing in the game. So Scottie has Fessy convinced. Go get Haleigh. Scottie then has a bit of a mistake here. When he goes to get Haleigh, he like screams it across the house. Haleigh, Fessy wants to see you. And so everyone is like, whoa, why is Scottie calling Haleigh to go see Fessy? This is not good. We don't like this. And Kaycee is able to actually get in there before Haleigh and slide in there before Haleigh is able to get in there and lock this whole thing in with Fessy. So Kaycee goes and talks to Fessy, and Fessy lets Kaycee know, yeah, Scottie was just pitching me this thing that maybe we should put Sam up on the block, and I'm kind of thinking like maybe that's a good idea. And Kaycee's like, nah, that's not a good idea. I wouldn't vote Sam out. I'd still vote Scottie out. He's so sketchy. Are you kidding me? All of the things that he's done, why would we ever trust him? And Fessy's like, oh, maybe you'd still vote Scottie out over Sam? And she's like, yeah. And he was like, even if that means that you would go on the block if I didn't put Sam up? And she's like, well, I mean, you can still put Sam up as the pawn. He's like, no, I'd probably still put you up, though, if Scottie was the target. And she's like, ah, I should have just said yeah. But she's like, I mean, look, if I need to take one for the team, that's fine. But look, if we do this, I want your trust moving forward. If I do this for you, if I allow myself to go up on the block, then I don't want you coming after me in the future. We need to have some kind of arrangement. And Fessy's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's so the Kaycee solidified is going to go up on the block. Fessy says, man, he talked to me for like an hour, and I was feeling very confident. I trusted him. I was gonna do what he was gonna say. Man, that's really dangerous. And this took me back. What irony. What beautiful, delicious irony that Fessy in this moment is talking about Scottie in the same way that Scottie talked about Brett in week 3, when Brett talked to Scottie, and after Brett left, Scottie was like, oh, he's so charismatic. I can't believe him. He's so dangerous. I was completely believing every word he was saying. And now Scottie is that person. What a transformation. Scottie is that person to Fessy. After Scottie leaves, Fessy's talking to Kaycee, and he's like, oh, Scottie's so dangerous. I can't believe he did that to me. He had me so convinced. We need to get him out. This is the beauty you get in Big Brother that you just don't get on scripted shows. It's true. All right. Kaycee talks to Tyler after all of this. She tells Tyler everything that happened. Scottie's explanation, her going up on the block, the pitches, the Sam thing. She says, hey, Scottie completely had Fessy convinced to do this. And Tyler's like, oh, that's scary. Like, this dude, he's dangerous. So this makes Tyler feel like, okay, all right, what I need to do then is I need to convince Scottie that he has my vote to keep him as docile as possible here. So that if he thinks he has my vote, that's one less vote he is trying to campaign for, because he's clearly going to be halfway decent at campaigning, and he's going to be throwing out a lot of crap, and we want to keep him as calm as possible. So Tyler is going to pretend to Scottie that Scottie has his vote. Now, I think Tyler has to be a little careful of this, because we're in jury. Scottie is somebody who I think could be very influential in the jury house. He has the most amount of knowledge on the Faute side of things, and he is the biggest fan, and he's probably going to be very vocal in the jury house. Obviously, I think when it comes down to it, he'll do whatever Haleigh says if Haleigh feels very strongly. But I think that Haleigh's opinion even would be informed a lot by how Scottie feels and what kind of information Scottie gives her. So if Scottie feels super betrayed by Tyler for no good reason, then that would be very bad for Tyler. There's no good, like, you should not be trying to piss people off in a spot where you don't need to piss them off. So I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with pretending to Scottie that Tyler is going to vote to keep Scottie, as long as Tyler is able to pull it off in a way where when Scottie leaves the house, he feels like, oh, Tyler, you got me. Good one. You're such a good player. And not like, oh, why would you do that to me, Tyler? Like, why would you? I was already out of the house. Why would you pretend that I had your vote when you didn't need to? So I don't think it's a huge concern. I don't think that Scottie will be that emotional a juror, especially because he still thinks that Tyler is his best friend, even though he thinks that Tyler is going to vote him out. So just something to pay attention to as the week goes forward. Jury management definitely becomes important as we go along here. Stacked seems very insistent that I say Faute is their own worst enemy. Shouldn't it stand for F ourselves up to the end? There you go. lots of people have been coming up with lots of Faute explanations here, or whatever it is, the words for the acronym, and they're all great. It's the beauty of Faute. Yes, Operation Scottie is my best friend. Truly one of the most influential strategies this entire season is Tyler literally manifesting a relationship with Scottie just by saying it. Scottie's my best friend. Now, a month later, Scottie is saying, Tyler's my best friend, even though there's no reason to think that. And not only is there no reason to think that, but Scottie blames himself for not being closer to Tyler. Scottie feels like it's his fault. He drifted away from Tyler because he was so focused on his relationship with Haleigh that he drifted away. And now it's his fault that they're not close anymore. It's like, you were never close. He literally just said the words. He never meant them. Oh man, what a season. So then Tyler has a conversation with JC, which is a very interesting one. We're getting into we're starting to plan the next stages of the game. JC is telling Tyler, "Hey, I'm concerned. I'm concerned for you, Tyler, because Fessy and Haleigh have been talking a lot about you and Angela and how you guys are a pair, maybe a showmance, and that's dangerous. It's putting a target on your back, potentially." And Tyler's like, "Oh, that's why Fessy wants an alliance with me and Angela. He's making a Final Four with us. It's Operation Double Date." Tyler uses the line that he has so enjoyed at this point, using, well, it's a good thing if people see me and Angela as a pair, because that means that they're not going to put me and you up, JC. They're going to put me and Angela up. And JC is like, "Yeah, but I don't know if I could get the votes for you to stay over Angela at this point. Like that's a little, it's a bit dangerous." And Tyler said, "Well, don't worry about it. I would never choose Angela over you. Not in a million years. Do not worry about that." Again, they need to be careful with that cuddling, because Tyler's entire game hinges on the fact that people think that he will take them over Angela, and they're all starting to worry about Angela. And the more they see Tyler and Angela cuddling, the less they're going to believe that Tyler would actually choose them over Angela. So be very careful, Tyler. Tyler says, "How would you feel about this, JC?" And look, we don't know what Tyler's plans are, but this is the first glimpse that we've gotten into Tyler's true end game plans. It could be a lie. It could be real. But Tyler is proposing to JC. How would you feel about this, JC? A Final Four of me, you, Kaycee, and Angela. And JC's like, I like that. That works. I like that. That works for me. I don't think it really works for JC as much as he thinks it would, but JC, he at the very least, again, says to Tyler that this works for him. I bet you a lot of money that JC would like to sneak Fessy into that Final Four instead of Angela. I bet that would be JC's ideal Final Four. But I'm guessing that JC would love for Fessy to be. I think JC is agreeing. Oh, that's a great Final Four. How about the Final Five includes Fessy, and then secretly I'm gonna try and get Angela out, and then sneak Fessy into that Final Four. And that actually would be a decent Final Four for JC if Fessy was involved. Actually, he'd probably want to cycle out Kaycee. No, Kaycee's, I don't know. I don't want to get too into the weeds here. Lots of strategic stuff to figure out with these end game plans. But they talk about how Brett is a big threat. And Brett should be the person that they are cautious of in the future. Tyler says to JC, he thinks that once he feels like Brett is going to. Well, first of all, they're worried about a potential double eviction coming up soon. So Tyler says, well, I think Brett would put up Haleigh and Fessy. I think Haleigh and Fessy would put up Sam and Brett. I think that Sam would put up Angela and Haleigh. And then, the rest of us will just do we're fine. So JC you don't need to worry. I don't think we need to worry. I think we're all good. However, Tyler is concerned that he thinks that once that Brett gets Fessy out, he thinks Brett's going to start coming at me. I'm the next big target after Fessy leaves. So we need to worry about Brett very soon. And I think this is very smart of Tyler because I do think that Brett is his biggest threat. Now, again, he could just be saying this to JC. This is now the second or third time he has talked to JC about targeting Brett soon. Now, and by soon, I don't mean next week. I mean in the near future. Brett is the person who needs to go after they take another shot at Fessy and Haleigh. He's worried that about Brett as a potential competition threat, a potential social threat, and he should be because Brett has been studying his ass off. Brett has this whole apparatus that he uses to study, and he has been studying every night. He studies a lot. I think Brett is going to be a serious contender, especially with Scottie gone, for a lot of these endgame quiz competitions, and that's incredibly dangerous because not only does he know his stuff, but he's also very good physically. I think Brett could be a serious endgame threat, and I don't think anybody realizes how good he could potentially be at these competitions. So I think we're really in for a dogfight here with Tyler and JC and Brett and who's gonna strike first, and Brett maybe going on some kind of competition run. Brett is a lot more of a threat than he ever was at the start of the game. He's really come into his own here, and so this could get very dangerous for Tyler in this sense as well. So Tyler and JC looking at Brett, they want to pit Brett against Fessy. They want to turn Fessy. They want to try and potentially use Fessy to take Brett out if they need to. If Fessy somehow wins another HOH, or maybe if Haleigh wins an HOH, they might decide to try to take Brett out. I wouldn't be surprised if, say, Haleigh won HOH next week, put Brett and Sam on the block, and Tyler decided, you know what, maybe now's the time. Maybe now's the time to cut Brett loose instead of Sam. It's definitely a possibility. So something to look out for. These the plans for the future, everything's kind of coming together, and we're starting to look at what does the Civil War look like, and it looks very interesting. It looks very, very interesting. So lots of stuff going on here, lots of plans for the future, lots of plans for the now. Very, very excited about everything going on. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the chat now, so we can start to wrap this up. Mindy wanted to know, would Haleigh really put Brett on the block? It's possible. There's not a lot of options, right? She wants Sam out of the house, and so she might do like Sam and Kaycee if she feels like that's what she needs to do to make sure that Sam leaves. But it's a possibility. I do think it's a possibility. You never know with these people. They'll do anything at this point. Yes, Haleigh said Brett was safe with her. It's true, but she may not think that Brett would leave is the problem. Tammy wants to know, should Tyler and Angela throw the next HOH? Yeah, probably. Well, it depends. They need to. If it's one of those things where it's like they can tell who's still in the competition, then maybe they shouldn't. But they obviously wouldn't love to be the people that had to betray Fessy and Haleigh. Fessy and Haleigh would be the targets for basically anyone. The only person they need to really worry about winning is Haleigh, because Haleigh might go back on their deal, and Sam, because Sam might put Angela on the block. Anyone else would do whatever they wanted. Obviously, their ideal, I think, would be if Brett won, took a shot at Fessy and Haleigh, and then they could turn around and take Brett out the next week. Question: how is Brett studying? He's got some candies that he keeps locked away that he uses to study the days. Realness wants to know, is there anything Scottie could do to stay? I honestly think that Scottie's a goner at this point. Sam going up and then self-evicting was his best shot, and that does not look like it's going to happen. So Not looking great for Scottie this week. Yes, Sam did. Brett showed Sam his studying device, so Sam knows about it. What is my final three, as in who I want to see in the final three, or who I think will be in the final three? If you can specify that, I would love for the final three to be like Tyler, Brett, and JC at this point. That would be a pretty fantastic final three, but I doubt it would happen. Is Haleigh a jury threat? Yes. If Haleigh got to the end, she would almost definitely win because lots of Faute members in the jury. She'd get Rockstar for sure, Bayleigh for sure, Fessy for sure, Scottie for sure. That's 4 votes. She just needs one more and she wins. So definitely do not want Haleigh getting to the final 2 if you have anything to do about it. Question, should Tyler take Sam to the final 4, or is she too much of a liability? She is too much of a liability, I think. You never know what she might do, especially in a position where, like, final 4, maybe she wins a random veto, and then all of a sudden she has the power to take the sole power to evict somebody from the house. You do not want Sam having that power because she is a wild card. How would a Tyler win compared to the all-time greats? Well, we still have to see how it happens, but certainly up until this point, it's on track to be a top-tier win for sure if he manages to pull it out. So who does Tyler have to sit beside in the final 2 in order to win? I think Tyler could probably sit beside most people and still win at this point. You know, honestly, I think he could beat Brett, Angela, Kaycee, JC. He might even be able to beat Fessy at this point. He'd beat Sam. He can't beat Haleigh. And that's honestly, that might be it. He probably couldn't beat Scottie, but Scottie's leaving. But again, that could change. Other people could step up. They could go on competition wins. They could win more respect, so on and so forth. So as of right now, I think Tyler is the biggest jury threat. And I think that most people recognize that, which is another problem for his game. Should Tyler drop info to Scottie in his goodbye message despite the chance of a jury buyback? I think he should drop some information to him. I assume that he would assume that they wouldn't show it to him if there was a buyback. So I would do it, but I'm not exactly sure how that works if they get to be like, well, don't show this if there's a buyback, but do show this if there isn't. But if they could do that, then I would say yes, Tyler should drop some info to Scottie. Scottie would definitely appreciate it coming from Tyler. And I think that he would be like, wow, Tyler's so good at this game. So I definitely think that Tyler should drop some info in his goodbye message. How does Sam get targeted and voted out? It could happen next week. There's a lot of people gunning for Sam next week. So I could see Sam leaving next week for sure. It's definitely one of the possibilities, or it could happen in the bit after that. But honestly, the most likely scenario is that Sam is going to be here until like final 6, final 5, something like that. Sorry, I know. Tyler versus Haleigh final 2 prediction. Well, like I said, Haleigh would get those 4 votes, and then let's see, Tyler would probably get the rest. Am I missing somebody? It'd be a close vote. It'd be 5-4 probably. And Tyler might win. Haleigh might win. You never know. Let's see. Doesn't Julie usually hint about jury buybacks to the evictees? Yes. I don't think there's a jury buyback, but they all think that there will be. Should we sell Tyler stock? Rob said that we should sell Tyler stock. I would not sell Tyler stock personally, but Rob would, so I don't want to dissuade anybody. But that is not my official advice. I would not sell the Tyler stock quite yet. Why do I think Brett is having bad goodbye messages? Because he's a showman. He is a Dr. Will. Dr. Will did the same thing. Dr. Will spent his final 2 speech in Big Brother 2 yelling at the jurors and telling them that they didn't like reality because that's just who he was, and this is just who Brett is. He's a showman. He wants to entertain the people. He said so on the feeds, and so they warned him. They were like, the jury is gonna see this, and he was like, screw it, I don't want Rockstar's vote. I want to please the people. Is Sam a liability to Brett's game, or is his game already in trouble? I do think Sam is a liability to Brett's game, actually, because she's still not betraying Tyler, and Sam is not very discreet about her feelings for Brett. So now Sam liking Brett and being loyal to Brett to some extent has put a bigger target on Brett's back because Tyler found out about it, and I think that it has been a net negative for him so far. You really got to be careful of these wild cards in the house. So. Gotta be careful. Is Tyler forced to use his cloud app next week like how Sam's was forced? No. Tyler will, if he doesn't have to use the cloud app, he can just choose to never use it, and it will never come up, and nobody will ever know, except for Sam, who still, I think, maybe doesn't believe it. So there you go. Are we ready for Scottie's speech? He might not do something. He might do something. He might decide to not do a big speech on the veto ceremony, or he might decide to really go at Sam in his speech, which would be interesting, to say the least. Will Scottie blow up the Level 6 Alliance during his eviction speech? No, probably not. He doesn't know about the Level 6 Alliance. He thinks that he has an idea that side is working together in general, but there's nobody that he could even blow it up to. Everyone, he's already talked to everyone about this before, and he already talked about it in front of the whole house after he got nominated, so I would not expect it. And yes, he might also apologize to Haleigh, but Haleigh said that he didn't have to. So we might get an interesting veto speech, but we might also not. Brett did have a veto speech planned for Fessy. He was really going to go at Fessy, but he may have calmed that down because he had a few conversations with Fessy over the course of the day yesterday, where Fessy was like apologizing to him and saying it was never the plan to get you out. So Brett may decide against it, which would be unfortunate, going against his true showman ways. All right. Ashley wants, if Tyler gets evicted, who do we think has the best shot at winning as things stand now? I think they would really change the whole field. So it would be hard to know. Obviously, I think Brett would have a great Brett's chances would improve dramatically. JC would actually probably his chances might go down because he's so reliant on Tyler right now. We might see somebody like Kaycee and Angela, like their chances might improve a lot as well. In fact, I think Kaycee and Angela would benefit greatly because I think that Tyler would be pulling for them in the jury house, and I think that they would be great like shoo-ins for the end game. So I think actually that that Kaycee and Angela would stand to benefit the most if Tyler left, which is of course ironic because they're the people who are most loyal to him. All right, that's all I've got for you. Thank you guys for joining me today. Very fun to do the solo update and chat with you guys. Lots to talk about. Of course, the Summer of Stein will be later today. Very much looking forward to that. And of course, the roundtable, the LFC roundtable tomorrow night. We will have the updated stock watch and more statistics, and we'll argue. Brent will, I'll troll Brent about how amazing the season is and how he's unable to enjoy it because of his bitterness, and we'll have some fun. It'll be a lot of fun. I will also join you tomorrow morning to update on everything that happens today on the feeds. And yes, of course, you can check me out on Twitch, Taran Armstrong. We have a lot of fun on there, hanging out, watching the feeds, or playing games, whatever we want to do. But you can follow me there and just be notified when I go live, in case you're ever curious. Taran Armstrong on Twitch. And I think that's all we've got for you. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Follow me on Twitter at ArmstrongTaran, and I will see you next time.